Welcome in the video lecture series of operating system. Myself Avdesh Dixit, Assistant Professor, IET, Dr. Ramanohar Lohia University, Ayodhya. Friends, we are today going to discuss a very important topic, deadlock. Deadlock. What is deadlock? First of all, try to understand. When more than one process waiting for any event resource that's not available or that not happen, then we simply say this is the deadlock situation. This is the deadlock situation. You can just understand it by taking some realistic example. For example, when you will saw so many busy roads always blocked due to excessive vehicles, and they completely block the road. That is also a situation of the deadlock. That means everyone want to pass the road, but because both sides are trying to travel, but no one successful. Another example I just want to share with you, that a quotation: you cannot get a job without experience, and you cannot get experience without job. Both things and contradicting to each other. That if you have a job, if you are not experienced, then you cannot got job. But without getting job, you get not experience. You cannot got experience. Then this is also a situation of the deadlock. Now, first of all, understand what are the four necessary conditions to understand the deadlock. The four necessary conditions for the deadlock are the first: mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no pre-impation, and circular wait. Mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no pre-impation, and circular wait. First of all, now try to understand what is the mutual exclusion. One or more than one resource must be held by a process in a non-shareable or exclusive manner. As you know, most of the resources of the system, some of them are can be used as exclusive manner, some are used shareable manners. For example, a printer of the computer system, that can be exclusively used. That means only one process can access the printer, not more than one process. If the more than one process are try to using that printer, then definitely there may be a deadlock situation arise. For example, a file in read-only mode can be used in shareable mode. That means more than one process can access the file in shareable mode. That is not exclusive use. That means if there are more than one resources are used in exclusive mode, then there may be possibility of deadlock. Next is the condition for deadlock is the hold and wait. Hold and wait. Here, if any resource is holding a process and requesting for another, that means if or you may see it like this: if any process is requesting to any resource and resource is already held by some another process. See, we represent a process by circle and resource by a rectangle. Resource by a rectangle. Here, this is the resource. Now, if process is requesting for the resource, then we draw arrow like this. That means a process wants to execute the resource. Now, if a resource hold the request, hold the process, that means that there is another process P2 and this is the holded by the resource R1. Then here resource R1 is getting request from process P1 and holding a process P2. Then this referred to as a hold and wait. The hold and wait is another principal reason of the deadlock. Now next is a no preemption. There is only voluntary release of a resource. Nobody else can make the process give up the resource. No preemption is another reason of the deadlock. You may understand it. That means if any process is executing by the CPU and some other important process are waiting, but the process which is executing is not exiting from the system due to the non-preemptive manner. So this can also lead to the deadlock. So then the no preemption is another reason for having a deadlock. Now circular wait. Look here. Circular wait refers to the when more than one process are in the system, they are holding and requesting in a very circular way. That means if the process P1 wait for process B, B for process C, C for process D, and dot dot dot, and last process is wait for process P1. Then what is this? This is the circular wait. That means no process is now getting the resource. Every process is waiting for the some one process to release the resources. This is the another and important necessary conditions for the deadlock in the system. Now, a system is in deadlock or not? How can we judge it? Then there is a one tool, a very important tool by which we can check or judge that a system is in the deadlock or not. And now here we have drawn two resource allocation graph. There is a two resource allocation graph. First RAG first and RAG second. RAG first. Look here in RAG first. Process P1 is waiting a resource R1 resource R1 is holded by process P2. Process P2 is requesting a process R3. Process R3 is holded by process. So resource R3 is holded by process P3. Process P3 requesting a resource R2, and there are two instances of R2. A resource may have a many instances, and if the more than instances are, this will be easy to resolve that from the deadlock. That means there are least possibility to have a deadlock. Now look here. Here there is a circle formed from P1, P2, P3, and then again P1. There is a cycle. That means P1 requesting to R1, R1 holded by P2, P2 requesting to R3, R3 holded by P3, P3 requesting to the R1, and R1 having a two instance. Here R1 is holded by P1 and R1 is also holded by P2. That means here R1 is not free, but P3 is requesting R2 is not free. R2 is holded by P1, R2 is holded by P2, and this R2 is not free. Then definitely there will be a closed path, a cycle, and there will be deadlock. So one conclusion is that if in a RAG, resource allocation graph, there has a cycle, then there is a possibility of deadlock. If there is a no cycle, then there is a no deadlock. But if there has a cycle, then there is a possibility of deadlock. There may be deadlock or may not be deadlock, and it depends upon the type of the resource. Now let us here look in this example also. Here process P1 requesting the resource R1. Resource R1 is also holded by process P3. It also holded by process P2. Process P3 is requesting the resource R2. R2 is also holded by process P1. Then here is also cycle from P1, P3, P1, P3, and then P1. You can say there is a cycle. But look here, there are two instances of resource R2. First instance is a if resource R2, it holds process P1. That means here it requesting process P1, P4 to hold, but process P4 is free right now. That means although there has a cycle, but this system is not in deadlock state. Therefore, this is the deadlock state. Deadlock state. This is not deadlock state. Not deadlock state. And the main reason why it is not in deadlock state is because there are two instances. There are the two instances, and second instance here resource request is for holding the process P4 only. Therefore, the P3 request for the resource R2 will be granted, and R2 request for holding the process P1 will be granted, and this may, that's why the system will not be in the deadlock state. So by this resource allocation we can also say it also request resource RRAG graph, also request resource allocation graph. Now if the system is in, how can we eliminate the deadlock from the system, or how can we avoid the deadlock from the system? Basically, there are three major ways to abandon the deadlock, and those three are first is prevention, deadlock prevention. That means preventing the deadlock. What means deadlock prevention? That means deadlock prevention basically tell us that eliminate these four conditions. That means if we try to eliminate these four conditions, means mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no prevention and circular wait, then deadlock will never happen. Any one of the four conditions will not happen, that means deadlock will not happen. This is a deadlock prevention. And second is a deadlock avoidance stage. That means in that we will test whether the present system is in deadlock or not, or if any request is coming, that request will lead the system in deadlock state or not. If that request will lead the system in deadlock state, then the request will not be granted. And in there, we will also calculate the safe state and non-safe state. In non-safe state, deadlock may occur, but in safe state, deadlock may not occur. If the system is non-safe state, then we will handle that state to prevent the deadlock. And here we will use the very important algorithm, Banker's algorithms. We will also tell you detail and their calculations, how to eliminate the deadlock, how to abandon from the deadlock in the avoidance. And last is the deadlock detection. Here we assume that deadlock is there and we eliminate the deadlock, the recovery from the deadlock. So, and now most of the operating systems, they have a deadlock. If the percentage of the deadlock is very minimum, then they assume that they may be with the system. Only one thing is that if the system is deadlock state, then just they will block everything and reboot the system. So this strategy can also be adopted if the deadlock states are very rare case. Now, thank you. In this video session, and in the next video session, we will explain the deadlock avoidance and the safety algorithms. Thank you.